Hi guys, welcome along to another video. In today's video I've been sent this. Now this is an Android Auto and Apple Carplay device for your motorcycle. I've been in the market looking for one, and it just so happens that Aoocci got in touch and sent this out for review. So without further ado, let's see what's in the box. So this is the unit itself. It takes Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, and it basically mirrors your mobile phone on the screen. So the same as what you've got in your car, but on your motorcycle. So you can view your maps, your music, you can listen to your music. If you've got digital radio stations installed on your phone, you can listen to them as well, and it's all on the screen. It also gives you a tyre pressure monitor system, the Tpms, and it also has front and rear dash cameras, which I think could be very useful, especially if you're involved in an incident. So let's get it out of the box and see what you get inside it. Once you've got the box unpacked, this is everything you get in it. First of all, you get the unit itself here, a little sunshade. There's 3 screw holes in that, so you will screw that onto the top there if you wish to use that. You'll get a power supply, and that just goes straight onto your battery. When I wire this in, I will wire it in to my Thunderbox. It just saves tapping into the battery, although it works either way. When your bike powers off, it's a smart unit as well. It's also waterproof, and this will power off as well. You'll also get a remote control with the unit, and the top button here will answer telephone calls. The middle button will flick it onto a camera, probably the rear view camera, and the bottom button here will allow you to cycle between the front and the rear camera, or have front and rear on the screen at the same time. And to get back into your home screen, just press the middle button and that will take you back into the screen that you were in prior. You also get the mounting kit for the remote control. You'll get your front and rear tyre pressure monitoring valves, and the lock nuts and key to lock them onto your tyres. You'll get a 64GB TFT card, and the card will go into the bottom of the device there. Just unscrew the 2 screws, pop the little door off, and there will be a TFT slot and a USB slot in there as well. You also get a USB power supply should you wish to power it off the USB, or if you want to test it first before you fit it to the bike, you can test it in the house and plug your USB into the wall and screw the end into the device itself. You get your wiring here for your front and rear. That looks a decent length of wiring, and I'm fairly confident that will be enough for any motorcycle to reach the rear. You might not need the wire for the front camera, but we'll see when we go to fit it. You also get a little screwdriver, and there's your little screws there for screwing on your hood. You get your front and rear cameras. They're not sided, so either will do, front or rear. They're made out of metal, aluminium I would imagine, and they look decent quality as well. 1080p full HD, and here you get the mounting brackets to mount the cameras to the bike. Now the bracket to hold the Aoocci, the CarPlay device, onto the bike, from the reviews that I've watched, this bracket is different. It looks a lot smaller than the RAM mount that Aoocci previously supplied, so that's a bonus straight away. That's a nice small bracket rather than having the big ball mount things. And also you get the Torx security key with it as well, so that that's tamper proof basically. And this is the bracket which will mount onto the back of the unit itself, and you get little shock absorbers with it. You also get a user's manual with it. However, there is a more detailed user's guide on Aoocci's website as well, should you wish to view that. I'll put a link in the description for the PDF version of the user manual. It's always worth having a quick little read over as well. Also with this bracket here, you get little adapters. So whatever size your handlebars are, or your nav bar is, you will be able to make that fit onto it. Now my nav bar is only 12mm, it's very small, but I'm confident I'll be able to make that fit somehow. So that's what you get in the kit. So all we need to do now is get it fitted to the bike. Now this is Aoocci on the bike, and I've got it powered up to a power bank at the moment. So I've just basically went underneath, undone the power cable and replaced it with the USB power cable, and got it connected to the power bank there. So that's it powered on now. I've set my phone up with it, I've paired that in, I've actually been out a ride on it as well, just to test it out. So this is giving you a live boot up time of the device and how long it takes for it to connect into your phone. And it takes roughly about 30 to 40 seconds for it to go into the Android Auto or the Apple Carplay. And there we go, that's it in there. That's probably been about 30-40 seconds. So that's it set up there. And if you noticed as well, I put my own little boot up screen on that, and I'll leave a link in the description, or instructions in the description on how to do that. So that's the Apple CarPlay on it there, and as you can see, it's just like your CarPlay that you would have on your car, you know. So you've got all your apps that you want on it as well. So I've got my telephone, I can make phone calls, go into there and make calls. So we'll just come back out of that. I've got my music, so I can play my music, and when you play it, it'll come through the comms, but this will come through the phone because the phone's behind me. So that's Kraftwerk, German band, good band. I've got my Waze on it, my Google Maps on it, my Apple Maps on it, my two radios, my apps that I use for listening to the radio. WhatsApp, that's on it as well. I can listen to my messages, that will read the messages out that are on my phone. Now playing, that's the music again. And let's go back. I've got my Amazon Music. For what I listen to podcasts, which I don't. Calendar, if I've got any events today, I can click on that, or it'll highlight and tell me that there's something happening today. That's just what's in my calendar. So there we go, and then you can go into the settings and you can change things about again in here, you know, so you can customize it even further to suit yourself. So if we go back into the home, I've paired in the tyre pressure valves onto it, so that's what it's reading there. The front tyres at 34, which is near enough what I've set it at, and the back tyres sitting at 37, and it tells you the temperature of the tyres as well, and both tyres are displaying 24 degrees, which is probably the heat that's in this garage at the moment. I have also set the low alarm and the high alarm. The only problem I've got with the high and low alarm is it's on both tyres, so you don't have a low alarm for the front or a low alarm for your rear, and obviously most motorcycles, your front and rear tyres are different pressures, so that's a bit of a disappointment there, but it's done anyway. You can change it to bar or PSI. Mine's is in PSI, and your temperature, you can change that to Celsius or Fahrenheit. You can also toggle the tyre warning on or off, and that'll just alert you if your tyres are overinflated, too high a pressure or too low a pressure. And when you're ready pair your tyres, your tyre pressure monitors to the bike, you would just hit bind on, don't screw the valves in at this point, hit bind on, front will start flashing, screw the front valve on, and then once you've done that, the rear will start flashing, and then you screw the rear on, and that'll be that. You can also view your cameras. You know, if I move over to the remote control, I can change it. I'm just pressing the bottom button here on the remote control, and as you can see there, it's just shifting the cameras about, and I prefer it on the rear view camera when I'm out on the bike. So that's the run through on that. If I press the middle button here on the remote control, that will take me back into the home screen. So when you're out riding, you can use the middle button. And square this up again. Pressing the home button here takes you back into the actual device's software, or whatever you call it. And if we press the replay button here, that will give us histories of our trip. So if I scroll down to when I was out earlier, right, that should be a driving one there. That's the rear view camera there. So if I make that full screen, that's the rear view camera, and as you can see, it's mirrored, so more or less what you would see in the rear view mirror of your car if you were driving your car. So that's the rear there. And if we move over to the front camera, and that picture quality is pretty decent, I must say. I haven't viewed it on the computer yet, but just looking at that there, the quality on that is really, really good. So what I'll do is I'll get out there, and we'll see how the device works out on the road. If I can just remember how to get back out of the screen there, that little button up there. And from the quick test ride that I had on the bike earlier, the responsiveness with the gloves is really good, but we'll see that in the next clip. Now we've got the bike outside, we can get a better look at the setup on it, and as you can see there, you can just make out the camera and no more. Now if you were driving on the road and the bike was approaching you, you would never see that camera. And it's the same with the rear. The rear camera is just tucked under there, just under the mounting plate for the top box, and again, you're never going to see that. The Aoocci itself, that's the updated mount there, and from what I noticed with the ball or the ram mount that they had before, that's a great improvement. But I'm going to bring this down onto the bar there with a 3D printed mount that I've bought from a chap on the Suzuki forum, and we'll get that fitted. So let's see what it's like out on the road. Now that's the bike fired up, and the Aoocci Carplay is kicked in as well. Now one of the features that I do like about this device is the rear view camera. So that's me stuck it onto the rear view camera now. I'm faced into a parking space, so even though you do your shoulder checks, this little camera here is just great because you can see exactly what's behind you, and this makes it easier, especially for getting out of tight spaces or parking spaces in general. So there we go, that's me out, and there's a car in the car park there that you can see. So if he was coming around this way and I was walking the bike out, I probably wouldn't have seen him. And today it's bright sunshine again, and the screen is perfect. Now I had this device out over the weekend. I done a 496 mile trip spread over 2 days, and that was the perfect opportunity to test the Aoocci, and I must say I was very impressed with its performance. It done everything that it said it would do, and the only thing that I mucked up on was the auto brightness. I didn't have that set to auto bright. I just had it on full brightness, and as it was starting to get dark, the screen was really bright, and it was a bit overpowering. And then I realised that I hadn't had it on the auto brightness setting, and as soon as I changed it onto that, it was absolutely perfect. Now, having the remote control, I wasn't too keen on the remote control to start with, and I fitted it anyway, and it's just proved invaluable because you can access everything that you really need to via the remote control. And if I just go into the middle button here, that'll take me back into the home screen for the Carplay. Now, setting the maps is easy, and even with the gloves on you can still get to it. So if I go into the Google Maps here, I've already selected Hospier, so we'll touch that and we'll start our navigation, and I'll put the sound on for this. That way we can hear it because that comes through the Bluetooth headset. So when these
Head
lights
northeast on Howden South Road towards Armandvale East Road.
There we go. So when these lights eventually change, we'll get going and we'll listen to the instructions just to see how clear they are.
In 300 yards, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Armand Link Road, B7015.
So as you can hear there, that's absolutely perfect, you know. When I had the phone connected, my old phone connected to the headset, it was a bit of a faff because every time I got on the bike I had to pair the phone up.
In 300 yards, turn left onto Armand Interchange.
So with having the sound coming through the speakers there, I've just muted it again. In the headset, it just makes it so much easier trying to find where you want to go. I mean, most of the time I don't listen to the sound on the sat-nav because I just keep an eye on it, but it is handy, especially if you're in a unfamiliar setting and you don't know where you are really. And the problem that I had when I had my old mobile phone connected up here was every time I started the bike or got on the bike, I had to pair the phone to my phone and then pair it into the headset, and it was really just a faff. With this device, as soon as you jump on the bike, start it up and away you go. It's connected to your phone instantly. Now, another feature that I really like with this CarPlay idea is I can leave my mobile phone in my pocket, which is where it is at the moment. So if I was unfortunate enough to come off the bike and have an accident, and the bike was 100 feet up the road, and I was halfway up a tree, and the phone was connected to the bike on the handlebars, I'd have no way of phoning for help, providing I was still in one piece, of course, but I'd have no way of phoning to get help. Whereas now I can keep the phone in my pocket all the time, and this unit, it's not expensive, you know, 22% discount in the link in the description if you decide to purchase one. But this unit isn't expensive, you know, you're talking about £135, £140, and if you were to have an incident on the bike and the bike was destroyed, you wouldn't lose your phone, or if your phone was destroyed because it was attached to the bike, you wouldn't lose that. And the phone, your mobile phone, is a lot more expensive than what this device is. You know, so I would rather spend another £135, £140 buying another device than spend £1,000 buying a new mobile phone. So that's what's good about that. Another feature that I really like with the Carplay is the cameras. Now these cameras are absolutely brilliant. The rear view camera, I didn't think at first that I would ever use the cameras, but at the start of the video there, when I was reversing out the car parking space, that proved invaluable there as well. And also just riding along the road, you can see who's behind you. There's nobody behind me at the moment, but you can see, and you can also flick in between cameras. So if I want to, I can just press the bottom button on the remote control, and I have front and rear, mirrored front and rear, just front or just rear. Now personally, I don't see the point in having the front camera visible when you're riding. Definitely the rear, absolutely the rear. And what I like about it is you can mirror the image, so it just looks like you're looking in the mirror of your car, which is very handy. So if you want to flick back to your screen that you were on before you looked at the cameras, just hit the middle button on the remote control, and that'll take you back into your previous screen. And for me it was Google Maps. Now if you want to go back into your Aoocci's generic home screen, you'll see that little white dot on the screen. I've positioned it to the left, but you can position that little dot anywhere simply by touching it and moving it and just dragging it about. So I'll just set it back up there. And if you want to, like I say, if you want to go back into the Aoocci's own home screen, just press the little dot, hit the little house icon, and that will take you back into their home screen, where you can view your Tpms. But like I say, that is very small, so maybe that could be improved with a firmware update, so that it's just a little bit bigger. And if you want to go back into your Carplay or Android Auto, just hit the middle button or the middle part of the screen, and that will take you back in there. Now that we've got somebody behind me, we can press the camera button and you can see that's pretty clear. He is a bit close right enough, but that is pretty clear, and that's the rear view camera. And if we flick it to the front, there's the front view camera. So yeah, the cameras are handy. I didn't think that I would find a use for them. I haven't viewed the footage on the computer yet, but you have to remember that these cameras, they're not cameras for vlogging with or making YouTube videos with. They're really just there to capture any incidents that could happen on the road that your insurance company could view if you need to do that, just to prove who was in the right or who was in the wrong. So they're not cameras that you could make videos with, like I say, but I mean, you probably could. You could probably incorporate them into your video, but they're nowhere near as sharp as your likes of your action cameras that you would normally film with. And one feature that I really do like with the remote control on this is one touch press and you're into your music. So if I give that a quick press, saves you touching anything on the screen or giving your unit a your comms unit a command, like if it's a cardo you would say the he and then command, he cardo and command. So to get into the music on this, quick press on the top button and you're there. That's Glue Bicep if anybody's interested. And what a perfect way to end the video here. Looking at the bridges, and if you're interested in getting one of these units, the Aooccis, there's a 22% discount code in the video description, and if you do buy one it's not going to cost you any extra, and I will get a very small commission from each sale. So if you're interested, head down to the description and purchase yourself one of these. If you have made it this far, guys, thanks for watching, and thanks to Aoocci as well for sponsoring this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.